Hello. Welcome to the very first video on my YouTube channel. I'm excited to kick things off with a really stupid project that I made. As some of you may have seen, for Halloween I went as Sexy the jacket from Drive, or the jacket that Ryan Gosling famously wore in Drive, but giant and sexy. And I'm going to show you how I made it from cardboard box to finished product. So I got my homemade soy milk. I'm sitting in my chair. Let's get to it. I started with some of the really big moving boxes from Home Depot. And I started cutting that basically into just a boxy shape that was around the size that I wanted. I started with a very accurate drawing about the proportions I wanted. So I knew about how far I wanted it to extend past my head, how long I wanted it to be. Then I used a cake tin to trace the neckline area. I could not think of a better way to cut the face hole so it was the right shape for my face, other than literally having my boyfriend hold a piece of paper over my face and draw where my face was. So it's not stupid if it works, but it is stupid. After that, I just transferred the piece of paper to the cardboard and cut the face hole out. So I made the arms out of just poster board I got from the dollar store, just kind of forming them into a cone shape so that it would be tapered like a sleeve and then hot gluing them. This was by far the hardest part, was figuring out how to attach it to the body. When you make a jacket, it's not hard, but when you're making a rigid jacket out of non-fabric materials, figuring out how to get the sleeve to go into the body part is really difficult. This is a trick that I use whenever I'm working with cardboard and I don't want it to be flat, is put the cardboard on a cutting surface and then take a knife or an X-Acto and score so you're cutting about halfway through the cardboard, not all the way through. If you score in lines, then you can fold the piece however you want. I try and do a lot of little lines so it's very fluid as a shape. I then got a black nylon tablecloth from the dollar store and I folded that over the piece I had scored and put that into the neckline of the jacket so it would create the illusion that it's empty in there. So something I didn't really get a good video of because it would be very difficult to is the inside structure of the jacket. Because it extends past my head, I had to put foam inside so that my head would rest against the foam, but then there would be space above me. This is me failing to cut foam the right size. I'm like, oh, I did it, yeah. Great job. I try and fit it in there. No. So how I made the scorpion for the back of the jacket, I basically created a light table for tracing by using my computer and blowing the image up really large so that I could just trace parts at a time, move the fabric, trace some more. I wanted it to be perfectly symmetrical. I didn't want to freehand it. And then I ended up messing it up because I could only see a little bit at a time. I didn't put enough legs on it initially, so I had to go back and add more legs later. And yeah, I couldn't fit one of the claws on. It was a disaster. So I wouldn't really recommend that. Next time I would just freehand it for sure. So then to give the scorpion some dimension so it looked like it was embroidered kind of, I painted over it with acrylic paint and, tried to make it look like it was more 3D rather than just felt that I had cut out. And voila, the scorpion was done. Then I wanted to try something that I've never tried before, which is vacuum forming. It seems really fun, and when I was at Michael's, I saw that they had a mini home vacuum form machine on clearance for $40, and I couldn't pass it up. That's a crazy deal. So I sculpted a zipper out of polymer clay. Baked it, and then put it in the vacuum form machine, which I forgot to film the process because I was using both my hands. It was kind of intensive, but it came out perfectly. So I made a giant plastic zipper that I then spray painted. Then I cut out cardboard to make the collar of the jacket, covering them and hot gluing them with felt. So I bought this amazing fabric from Mood, a fabric store here in New York. We had to pin it on the jacket and then cut darts into it, almost like making a real jacket if I was going to sew it. And then I had to just go along and meticulously hot glue the whole thing. So then I just continued to hot glue by putting the scorpion on the back of the jacket. It took me a few tries to get it lined up right. And then I repeated the process I'd done for putting the fabric on the body for the sleeves. Putting the fabric on took about 2 days, and at this point it was getting really close to Halloween. It was like 3 days away from Halloween, so it was really, crunch time, like let's fucking go, trying to fit it all in. Then just for a little added detail, I went in with acrylic paint and I hand painted a little zipper detail so that it wasn't just a gold strip on the front of the jacket. And that was about it. It's time to see how it all came together. So yeah, that's how I made the giant drive jacket. All in all, this took about a month to make, which sounds like a huge waste of time, probably to most people. But I love Halloween, and for me, it was 100% worth it just to see people's reactions when I was walking around New York City in this, because everyone was laughing. Literally every single person I passed was laughing at me, and that made me very happy. So I'm really glad that I made it. and now it is living over in the corner of my apartment. I would love to like hang it from the ceiling in here like a retired jersey, but yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it now that I have it. I don't want to throw it away because I did put a lot of work into it, but it's not really something you can just wear out. I was really overwhelmed by the reception that people gave this, not only online, but in real life. So many kids wanted to take pictures with me, which I thought was hilarious because obviously they didn't know what the jacket was. They just thought it was funny that it was a giant jacket. So this has me really excited to just keep making costumes, get more into cosplay, which I've never experimented with. If you have any ideas for things that I could make in the future, any cosplay ideas or just like weird costume ideas, I'm totally open to hearing them. Please let me know. As far as what I want this channel to be, this is really just something made between my friend from college, Dita, and I, for us to share projects that we're working on in a fun, laid-back way. We're not on a release schedule. We're not trying to go pro with this or make it a full-time job. We're just trying to make videos of stuff that we're already making anyway, and hopefully share it with more people. So yeah, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, please consider subscribing or sharing this video with your friends. It would really help us get started, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.